Do you dream of studying at a world-class university with an exciting and adventurous life experience? That is what awaits you at SLTC in the Paradise Island of Sri Lanka. Located in the lush suburbs of the city, a 35-acre university of serene greenery, the only state-owned, private sector and corporate-backed university in Sri Lanka. With state-of-the-art accommodation options, feel the warmth of a home away from home. Immerse in the adventure you're looking for at the world's top tourist destination of excitement, beauty, and the hub of activity, Sri Lanka. With exceptional teaching, a multitude of study options, plenty of pathways to choose from, a host of international affiliations to back them up, as well as the opportunity to explore your creativity, sports, gym facilities, and natural surroundings. Step into an experience of a lifetime, connecting with the best of the best. Welcome to your Lifetime Experience University.
Hello everyone, greetings from Sri Lanka. On behalf of the Sri Lanka Technological Campus, I warmly welcome all of you for our special guest lecture series, number 5, organized by the Sri Lanka Technological Campus Library. Sri Lanka Technological Campus, the youngest university, awarded the most emerging institute in South Asia in 2019, the only corporate-powered, research-based, fully residential university on the island and fully owned subsidiary of the Sri Lanka Telecom. As we all know, this is the International Open Access Week. This year, it is being celebrated by many libraries all over the world from 19th to 25th of October. The theme of this year is the Open with Purpose, taking action to build structural equity and inclusion. Sri Lanka Technological Campus is celebrating this special week for the first time, and we are planning to celebrate in the future as well. The topic for today's session is popular open access resources for engineering, IT, management, telecommunication, and finance. Before starting the presentation, let me welcome our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, Postdoctoral Fellow, Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kerala. Dr. Joseph was graduated with the BA English Language and Literature from the Ma Ioannis College, Trivandrum, and he obtained his Master of Library Science, Master of Philosophy, PhD, from the Department of Library and Information Science from the same university. And currently he is following his postdoctoral fellowship program also at the same university. He has presented many research papers at national and international conferences. He has contributed to many book chapters, journal articles, and conference papers, and his main area of interest is open access resources for library users. Recently, he has published a few chapters in a single book on Indian law and information sources. Dr. Joseph has taught postgraduate students on information sources and intellectual property rights. He has participated several national and international webinars, special guest lectures, and delivered many educated local and international audience on information sources, intellectual property rights, etc. So thank you very much, Dr. Thomas, for being with us today. We really honored you. So the session is over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I was very much happy to hear the words that you said. How much I don't know I can keep in parity with it, but I'll try. So I think everybody is ready for the presentation. We can start, isn't it?
Yes, please. You can share your slides.
Thank you. I hope you are able to see my screen, the presentation right now.
Not as yet. We will wait until you share.
Can you see now?
Yeah, it's been shared, but we don't see the slides at the moment. Not yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, please take your time. Take your time.
Okay. I am trying to. I have now opened the PPT and it's in the presentation mode right now.
Yeah, you have to share it now.
For that
For that, you have to share.
I might have to share the screen, but how is it possible? Share. Share screen. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay. Now my screen is shared. Okay, now you can see my screen, I think.
Yes, we can see now. Yes. Thank you.
The presentation is now visible, isn't it?
Yes, we can see.
The presentation is now visible, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. My topic for today is open access resources in engineering, IT, management, telecommunication, and finance. I am Dr. Joseph I. Thomas, postdoctoral fellow, Department of Library and Information Science, University of Kerala, Palayam, Trivandrum. These are the contact details that I have shared. Okay. And I'll start with an introduction about the Open Access Week that is currently ongoing. Rebuilding research and scholarship to be open by default offers a fair chance for each work to get notified by all. Structural racism, discrimination, exclusion, etc. are present and persistent even today. Open access facilitates co-design and helps cutting down on the discrimination in terms of finance, geographical and other socio-demographic factors that exist in the respective countries in which the underprivileged belongs to. In this scenario, the theme for this year's Open Access Week, Open with Purpose, taking action to build structural equity and inclusion, is highly pertinent and relevant. An overview of today's presentation is depicted in the table provided in the succeeding slide. This is the amount of resources that I am going to introduce to you. Information technology 10 resources, engineering 5 resources, management 5 resources, business studies 9 resources, telecommunication 3 resources, finance 5 resources, ranking of management institutes, 4 types of ranking I am introducing here, and general resources, 26 general resources I am introducing, and 7 websites of 7 individuals are introduced. These are all relevant to our current topic actually. Total of 6 subjects plus 3 miscellaneous subjects will keep 9 subjects in total with 74 resources. Okay, that's what we are going to deal with in this presentation. Open access resources, the open access resources in information technology is as follows. In this presentation, the following open access resources in information technology is briefed. Sites here: Engineering Technology and Applied Science Research, International Journal of Advanced Information Technology, Archive, Information Peer Review Journal, OSTI, theology of computing, computing research repository, collection of computer science bibliographies, and LOADB. Sites here, scientific literature digital library is offered by the NEC Laboratories America and Penn State's School of Information Sciences and Technology. This database is a free full-text index of computer science research articles, and it allows for citing engineering, technology, and applied science research. Engineering, Technology, and Applied Science Research, ETASR, is an open access, peer-reviewed, and wide-scope international journal comprising various diverse aspects of science application, advanced information technology. International Journal of Advanced Information Technology is a bi-monthly open access peer-reviewed journal which will act as a major forum for presentation of innovative ideas, approaches, developments, and research projects in the area advanced information technology applications and services. Archive is a free distribution service and is an open access archive for more than 1 lakh courses: computer science, quantitative biology, quantitative finance, statistics, electrical engineering, and system science, economics, etc. The materials on this site is not peer reviewed by archive. Information is a scientific peer reviewed open access journal of information science and technology, data, knowledge and communication, and is published monthly online by MDPI. This journal is indexed by iCompendex, DBLP, DOAJ, AI Compendex, etc. OSTI, Office of Scientific and Technical Information. OSTI.gov is a primary search tool for Department of Energy Science, Technology and Engineering Research information funded by the US Department of Energy and Organizational Hub for Office of Special and Technical Information. Theory of Computing. Theory of Computing is an online journal dedicated to the widest dissemination free of charge of research papers in theoretical computer science. Computing Research Repository, CORR. The papers in Computer Research Repository covers the following subjects. It's also open: artificial intelligence, computational complexity, computational geometry, computational engineering, finance and science, computation and language, computer vision and pattern recognition, computers and society, and many others. Collection of computer science bibliographies. Collection of computer science bibliographies covers most aspects of computer science literature from various sources. The collection currently contains more than 7 million of reference material, and it's clustered in about 1,500 bibliographies and contains more than 2.3 GB BibTeX entries and more than 6 lakh references are contained in cross references to citing or cited publications. LOADB. LOADB is an acronym for Listing of Open Access Database. Listing of Open Access Database has a collection of open access databases in a variety of subjects like agriculture, archaeology, astronomy, atomic energy, aviation and electronics, engineering sciences, etc. Open access resources in engineering. The resources briefed in this section are as follows: DOER, INIS, Biomed Central, Hydraulic Engineering Repository, Google Patent Search. Let's go into each of them. DOER. DOER is an acronym for Directory of Open Educational Resources. The URL is as follows: doer.col.org. COL is Commonwealth of Learning. DOER.col.org lists a variety of courses in engineering and related subjects. INIS. INIS is International Nuclear Information System. It hosts published information on peaceful use of nuclear science and technology. It contains bibliographical references and full text documents of conventional literature, including scientific and technical reports. Biomed Central. Biomed Central is an open access database which covers research data in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and medicine. Hydraulic Engineering Repository. The Hydraulic Engineering Repository is the specialist repository for academic publications from the field of hydraulic engineering. Google Patent Search. Google Patent Search indexes patents and patent applications. It indexed more than 87 million patents and patent applications with full text from 17 patent offices. The resources that is covered here in the topic management: archive, Mars case studies, MIT Slow and Learning Edge, open case studies, and case center. These are all the field of management. Archive.org. Archive.org is a source that gives open access information on risk management, pandemic management, economic management, energy management, multimedia data management, etc. Mars case studies. In this source, business cases is focused on social innovation. The resource can be accessed in the following URL. MIT Slow and Learning Edge. This resource is for management educators and students. It includes cases on topics such as entrepreneurship, leadership, ethics, operations management, strategy, and sustainability. Open case studies by the University of British Columbia. Open case studies by the University of British Columbia is an interdisciplinary open education resource with case studies. Many of these case studies focus on topics in sustainability, but also include cases on other topics that benefit from an open interdisciplinary approach. Case Center. Case Center is another resource for getting free case collections. Free cases are business cases are there in Case Center. A large quantity of business cases are available in Case Center free of cost. Business studies. The following 9 resources have been identified in the area of business studies. All these sources are open access. IQS Directory, Case Center, Anderson School of Management Case Collection, IV Complementary Cases for Secondary School Classrooms, Okios International Case Center, Stanford Graduate School of Business, World Business Council for Sustainable Development Case Studies, Business Administration, Econbiz. These are the 9 resources that I have found for case studies. IQAS Directory. IQAS Directory connects industry buyers with a vast network of OEM management companies, suppliers, and distributors, offering the information that they make to more informed purchasing decisions. Case Center Collection. Case Center Collection offers a growing range of free cases produced by a number of prominent schools and organizations across the globe. Anderson School of Management Cases Collection. Anderson School of Management Cases Collection hosts a set of cases and case studies, and it could be reached in the following URL. IV Complementary Cases for Secondary School Classrooms. IV Complementary Cases for Secondary School Classrooms also allows you to download cases and teaching notes based on these cases. It could be reached in the URL given in this slide. OQ's international cases. OQ's international cases host competitions that encourage writing of high quality cases on sustainability topics that can stimulate and innovate teaching and learning experience. This program aims at giving students the possibility of approach to their faculty to start embedding sustainability into curricula through the use of case studies. The competition was launched back in 2003, and since then, thousands of professors and students worldwide have benefited from the cases on sustainability in management, entrepreneurship, and finance included in the OQ's case collection. Stanford Graduate School of Business Free Case Studies. Stanford Graduate School of Business Free Case Studies lists abstracts and ordering information for case studies written and published by faculty of Stanford GSP. World's Business Council for Sustainable Development Case Studies. The World Business Council for Sustainable Development lists a variety of sources in the form of business examples, case studies, publications, tools, videos, etc. You can access this in the following URL. Business administration and list of high impact articles in the field of business administration. This list high impact articles with the following information: title, author, nature of the article, year of publication, number, DOI, etc. EconBiz. EconBiz is a search tool that's helpful in finding relevant publications quickly. The results of the search could either be broadened or narrowed by specifying the range of the year, subject, whether open, type of publication, language, author, institution, source, etc. In telecommunication. In this section, I have briefed 3 resources that's open access in the field of telecommunication. They are as follows: JTSM, JMISY, and the thesis collection at Texas University in Dowen. The resources could be accessed at research.tuv.nl/en. They have a set of theses related to telecommunication. I would like to say that you must visit this URL research repository for this research repository is very good in thesis collection. I have went through the repository and found that there is innumerable number of theses in the field of telecommunication. I recommend that these all interested people must go into the must search in the repository. It will be worth visiting. JTSM. Journal aims at covering all aspects of modeling, analysis, design, and management of telecommunication system. It's an open access journal. Another open access journal is Journal of Mobile Information System. It's a peer-reviewed open access journal that publish original research articles as well as review articles that report the theory and application. This is what I have found in the PhD thesis in telecommunication. The development of European modern communication standards and assessment of the success of GSM, Tetra, ERAMS, UTMS, etc. is a PhD title that I found in full text. This is just an example, just a glimpse of the variety of sources that's available for accessing free of cost. A total of 4,743 results was retrieved as of 19th October 2020 for the keyword telecommunication, and all are free. You can access this PhD thesis and find out the relevant material, and you can search for many more based on your keyword. Indeed, the collection is indeed laudable. The following section, now I am going to finance, open access resources in the area of finance. RAPEC is a research paper collection in economics that's free of cost, available free of cost. World Bank repository is free of cost. UN Data repository free of cost. ASCIA, UNCTA DStat is also free of cost. All these resources are free of cost. You can visit as per the time permits, as per your time permits. RAPEC, research papers in economics. RAPEC is a collaborative effort of hundreds of volunteers in 102 countries to enhance the dissemination of research in economics and related subjects. The science of the project is a decentralized bibliographic database of working papers, journal articles, books, book chapters, software components, etc. And these are maintained by volunteers of RAPEC. The collected data are then used in various services that serve the collected metadata to users or enhance it. World Bank. World Bank now makes its collection including 7,000 world development indicators for over 200 countries free of cost, and makes a very well effort is taken for opening data among international organizations in order to promote the use of data for productive uses. World Bank had decided to uncover their resources for promoting research. Only when data is open, there will be more chance for research from different parts of the world. So, considering the scope of enlarging the subject base, World Bank have decided to make its data open so that the subject will grow. UN Data. UN Data is is another open access source. It's a web-based data service for the global user community. It brings international statistical databases within easy reach of users through a single entry point. The users can search and download a variety of statistical resources compiled by the United Nations Statistical System and other international agencies. The numerous databases or tables collectively known as data marts contain over 60 million data points and covers a wide range of statistical themes, including agriculture, crime, communication, development assistance, education, energy, environment, finance, gender, health, labor market, manufacturing, national accounts, population and migration, science and technology, food and trade. These are all the subjects that's covered in UN Data Repository. ASCIA, access to scientific and socio-economic information in Africa, is an initiative under Public Information and Knowledge Management Division of United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. It defines a framework for bringing together scientific and socio-economic information for the African community, including scientists, researchers, academics, students, economics, policy makers, over an interactive online portal, acting as a one-stop shop to such knowledge and associated information. UNCTA data stats. UNCTA DStat gives access to basic and derived indicators built upon a common rule, harmonized environment, and clear methodology supported by powerful data browsing system. The statistical series are regularly updated and classified into easy to use navigate themes. UNCTD Stat offers ready to use analytical groups with a unique coverage for countries and products, and a particular focus is given on transaction economies. This approach ensures data consistency over multiple data series, and enables users to harness its full potential by mixing and matching data from various domains. The navigation browser allows table or graph presentations, easy selection and reorganization of data, personalized functionalities, and several straightforward extraction options are given in UNCTA datastat. Ranking. I am just citing some examples of ranking of management institutes. These are all international ranking systems. That's for management institutes. Forbes MBA ranking. Forbes MBA ranking is a internationally acclaimed ranking system. Another MBA ranking is QS Global MBA ranking. QS Global offers a variety of ranking systems for various subjects, and MBA is also not an MBA is not an exception. Shanghai's ranking. Shanghai's ranking, global ranking of academic subjects, is another another popular world, and management has also included. This, you can go to the following URL to look into the topmost management institutes that's available around the globe for choosing your school for studying management. Another system is Times Higher Education World University Ranking. This Times Higher Education Ranking also is very popular. You can look into that source also. In order to consult which institute is good, you can go to the following ranking systems. Now I am introducing some of the general resources related to open education resources. OER Lab, Lebanon Open Education Resource. OE Consortium, Open Education Consortium. Sherpa Open DOAR. Open DOAR is a repository, is a directory of open access repositories throughout the world. We can search the repositories from various countries, and it's divided based on continents, countries, etc. It's really worth visiting the Open DOAR portal. Now I come to DOAB, Directory of Open Access Books. It's also free of cost. You can download books from Open Directory of Open Access Books. DOAJ, you must be knowing. DOAJ is Directory of Open Access Journals, and it's the largest open access resource. You can download journal articles free of cost. LOADB.org. LOADB is an acronym for List of Open Access Databases. All the resources in LOADB are open access, and you can take information from it, and it's multidisciplinary in nature. www.4icu.org. It's a World University search engine. World University search engine could be utilized for finding the most relevant university for studying a particular subject. You need not go, look into the other information sources, or you need not go for others' opinion on a particular university. Rather than that, you can look into 4icu.org and get an idea about which university is better, and you can choose the university that you want based on the merits that the university has. Core Open Access Research Paper. This is also multidisciplinary in nature, and it holds a vast variety of papers in multiple discipline, and it has more than 1 lakh papers in open access discipline. All papers are in open access, and the discipline and the collection is interdisciplinary in nature. I have listed a few more open access resources like List Gateway. List Gateway is a gateway that links to various electronic resources available in internet. Rather than it organizes and catalogs digital information available on web pertaining to library and information science. List Gateway. It's a nice source for library science people. All are in open access. Univ.cc. Univ.cc is a database that lists almost 10,000 universities in 207 countries. It's also worth visiting for a person who is interested in choosing a good institution for higher education. Shanghai ranking. Shanghai ranking is an accepted ranking system for knowing the worth of a university. SciMajor.com. SciMago.com. SciMago.com is a journal ranking system that could be used for understanding the credibility of a journal. And this is a URL maintained by IIT Bhubaneswar. This URL contains a variety of open access resources, and the persons who are interested in knowing more about open access definitely must visit this URL. Next, I am going to say about the resources that is listed by IIT Gandhinagar. The open access resources published in IIT Gandhinagar library is the open access resources maintained by IIT Gandhinagar library is the publication of based on publication of open access standards, guidelines, blogs about open access, etc. are there in the resource. Next site is UDMS Virtual Library. It lists a variety of open access resources in various subjects. So no, not more than not only management, also other subjects are also covered in this resource. A few, let me say a few about the higher education opportunities here also. In India government official website lists the merits of merit and quality of the institutions in India, so that you can choose from the available options in India, and you can select a university according to the merits. Likewise, Digital Library of Pakistan offers a set of open access resources, and you can look into it. In order to, if you want to know about the universities in Iran, this is the URL that is that will lead to the Iran's Department of Education, Ministry of Education in Iran, and it lists all the universities in Iran. So you can know about the universities in Iran, and you can know of the worth, which university is worth your caliber, or which university is best suiting your taste. You can choose in this list, choose from this list. Another resource, pit.libguides.com/open access big list. This is a big list of open education resource maintained by University of Pittsburgh. It's really worth visiting the URL, and I assure you that you won't be disappointed by visiting the URL. You will get plenty of resources. Agon College libguides.com OER. Agon College of Applied Arts and Technology maintains a list of open access resources, open education resources. It's worth visiting the resource. Regarding the higher education options in India, I have listed a few. in order to know all the number of IITs in India, this is the URL. MHRD's URL will straightly present you the list of IITs in India. So anybody from outside can look into the list of IITs that's in India and choose the one that you can catch hold of. This is a list of IIMs, International Institute of Information Management, IIMs in India, and these two resources list all the IITs and IIMs in India. The NIT Council, National Institute of Technology Council, URL is provided here, and it lists all the NITs in India. These are all the premier institutions in India, and those who want to study in India, this will be the best best institutions to study for the information I have listed this much because anybody from outside, if they're willing to study in India, must go through these sites in order to choose which institution will be suiting their taste more. So I have listed a few more resources. NIRF is National Institutional Ranking Framework, and this NIRF will is an excellent source for ranking all the institutes in India. You can choose on the institution for your study based on the NIRF ranking. It's accepted it's accepted nationwide, and the ranks are credited by MHRD, Government of India. So there will you need not worry about the credibility of the ranks that is accredited to them. Regarding the list of list of medical institutes, you can look into the URL of Ministry of Family Welfare, Health and Family Welfare, and this URL will lead you to that source which lists all the IIMs and other autonomous bodies which will come under Ministry of Health Sciences in India. And IIMs are the most prestigious institutes in India for studying medicine. For getting knowledge about the educational institutes, courses, admission procedures, scholarship, students loan, technical and medical education, vocational studies, etc., you may visit the Government of India portal in the topic education. There a huge variety of information relating to scholarship, exchange programs, universities, etc. are provided. I recommend that you look into the following resources when you plan to study in India. These are all the resources that will be helpful if you are planning your higher studies in India. These are all the individual websites that will be useful for engineering students. This is one. This is a URL. This is a resource that is maintained by Dr. Murugan, Assistant Professor, Government of Engineering, Bodhinayaganur. This resource has plenty of resources related to electrical electronics. You can go to it. This resource by another resource is Botlist. Botlist is a blog by our faculty, Dr. Prakasam PM, Assistant Professor, Department of Library Information Science, University of Kerala. This website is very useful for knowing more about open access resources. Here listed a variety of resources and different the institutional repositories, etc. in the field of Japanese institutional repositories are listed. Many other resources that's pertaining to open access and is listed in his Botlist blog. I recommend that this resource must be utilized by all the interested students. The The website by Shihab Ilyas, librarian, Department of Islamic Studies, is also worth visiting. Considering the amount of open access resources available in this in the website by Shihab Ilyas, it's worth visiting the it's worth visiting the URL because it has a plenty of resources and you can update, and he updates it regularly. I recommend that his website must be used for those who are interested in getting more information about open access resources. The following 3 blogs is maintained by Dr. Vimal Kumar Varapalli. He is a well-known, internationally acclaimed information professional, and his knowledge in Koha and Linux is exemplary. I recommend that the following blogs maintained by Dr. Vimal Kumar Varapalli may be consulted in case you have any doubts regarding Linux, Koha, DSpace, etc. Next set of resources. Individual website maintained by Dr. D.P. Tripali, Assistant Librarian, Biju Patnaik Central Library, NIT Roorkela. Excellent source for those who are interested in knowing more about Koha, DSpace, etc. His resources is widely utilized by great many people, and his collection is exemplary. I think those who are interested in knowing more about library automation, Koha, DSpace, Fedora, etc., this resource is Tripathi sir's website is must be visited. Next website is by Dr. Sudhi S. Vijayan, Assistant Professor, Department of Library Information Science, University of Kerala. This website is also exemplary in the with regard to the resources that is hosted by him. A great variety of information sources is available in his website. I recommend that his website must be utilized by all the information professionals and those who are willing to know about open access and its various avatars. The blog by Sri Indranil Das Gupta, CEO, L2C2 Technology, is also worth visiting. He is a prominent person in the field of library automation, Koha, etc. I think that his blog is worth visiting for knowing more about Koha, library automation, etc. I recommend that his blog must be utilized. As a conclusion, I am presenting in this presentation, I have listed a few open access resources in engineering, IT, management, telecommunication, and finance. I have also covered various general information services that might be of use to those planning for higher education in India and abroad. Thank you. This is my contact information, and this is the blog that this is the YouTube channel that I am maintaining, and this is the WhatsApp group that I am maintaining. Both have the same name, ListConnect. ListConnect WhatsApp group is for library fraternity only, whereas whereas my YouTube channel ListConnect is open to all. Anybody can browse, and this my YouTube channel has all those previous webinars for which I was a facilitator. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas, for your very informative presentation. And it is actually really worth for introducing us free and open access resources, because nowadays when it comes to information resources, they are very expensive, especially a country like South Asian countries, very difficult to afford. So it is I'm really grateful for introducing such a very large range of open access resources. So actually, there are some few questions asked by the audience. The main question that they really need your presentation slides. So for sure, we will share it within a short period. And the questions, few questions have sent to my private chat box. So I will ask them. Are you ready to answer, Dr. Joseph? Can you hear us? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I am ready. I am ready. I am
Okay,
ready.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I am ready.
Okay, right. The first one is, are we allowed to put these information or open access resources put in our institutional repositories like DSpace and all? Is there an is it against
Yeah, you can list. You can list the. No. Open access resources can be utilized by anybody around the world. There is no country restriction. Anybody can use.
Yeah, I think they're asking whether they are supposed to put it in their own website, like on their own DSpace or something, I think, or their own institutional repositories, I guess. So do you have any answer for that?
I don't understand the question properly. There is some mistake.
Yeah.
There is some.
Yeah, right. Because I'm also, because that is
It's
as it is,
showing that
I
the internet
forwarded,
connection is.
Yes, I'm also forwarding the as it is mentioned. And let me go to the next question. You were talking about the ranking system. How about the Webometrics ranking system? Is it still valid, or is there any other valid university ranking system?
Regarding institutions, I don't think that webometric ranking will be a very fruitful one while choosing institution. By choosing, because when we are choosing an institution in a country, I think that the various other parameters will be taken into account regarding the nature of the information that is provided, or nature of the institution in which the institution works. Because when a ministry ranks a particular set of institution, they will take into consideration many things rather than the presence in the web. Rather than more than the presence in the web, they will be looking about the amount of assistant professors, amount of associate professors, the number of projects that have been executed, the maintain how well they maintain their institutional repository, what is their rank in the by the students there, and what is the syllabus that is being taught in the respective departments, etc. So these things will be more relevant than webometric, I think so.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. And I think there are two more questions, I guess. Is it okay to post them now?
Okay, proceed.
Right. Is there any publisher which supports publishing books on open access scholarly behavior?
Yeah. Open access publishers are there in plenty. Please visit OASPA, OASPA.
All right. And
Go
yes.
ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yes.
OASPA. I have mentioned in the chat box, so that OASPA is a list of publishers there.
And I think the last question, can we show ebook which are downloaded from the various websites to various committees? The question is not that clear for me. Do you have any idea? Can we show, I'll repeat it. Can we show ebooks which are downloaded from the various websites?
Okay. I understood the question. Which are all the sources from which open access sources from which ebooks can be downloaded straight away, isn't it?
All right. Okay.
that is what I understand. You when you visit a source, visit such a website, you must be able to download the full text of the book, isn't it?
All right, I think there's one more in my private chat box. Whether what is the main difference between the Creative Commons and the copyright?
Sir, I have put the question in the chat box. Is it the question? I have put it in the chat box. Is this the question? Please look into the chat box.
No, I think they're asking about the Creative Commons, the main difference between the Creative Commons license and the copyright law. If you have
Creative
any,
Commons. What is the difference between copyright and Creative Commons?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes, that is what they ask.
Creative Commons could be utilized by any, and it could be reframed, and the whole content could be recreated by any other person who downloads it. If a particular object, particular material is in Creative Commons, you can make use of it in your own way, and you can make it in a different format altogether. But in copyright, you cannot change anything. Only those rights that's given by copyright owner could be utilized by the copyrighted in a copyrighted material. Creative Commons, there is a search engine also. Let me share that. There's a search engine for Creative Commons works. Repository is there for Creative Commons works of Creative Commons. Repository by Creative Commons is there.
And one asks in full text or only read the document. Full text or only read the document. That's only he asking. You also can see.
Yeah, I will just now. Yeah, this URL is the Creative Commons repository, and you can search all the things that's available in Creative Commons. Full text or Creative Commons repository is this CC search. Full text in Creative Commons. Everything that is available in Creative Commons will be there in this repository.
Okay, right. Thank you very much. I think that's all. No more question, it seems. So that
Sir was asking in the last time. What was the last question? I was concerned about Creative Commons and I just skipped it.
You want me to repeat it?
Yeah, I was not. I was just looking into the Creative Commons.
The question asked was the main difference between the CC and I think Creative Commons and the copyright. I think you have already given the answer for that.
I have given the answer.
Yes. So as there are no more questions, we can wind up the session. Before that, let me thank to everyone, those who have already parted with this session. First, my heartfelt gratitude goes to the Sri Lanka Technological Campus for giving us the opportunity to conduct this special guest lecture on open access resources. And on behalf of the Sri Lanka Technological Campus, I extend a very heartfelt vote of thanks to all the participants who honored us and present at this occasion. Dr. Joseph, our esteemed guest speaker for today's session. On behalf of everyone here, a very big thank to you taking a time to explaining us and giving us lots of resources on open access resources. I think we have actually arranged within this week actually. So to surprise, actually, I'm very happy about this much of participants within, because we organized this within this week actually in parallel to the International Open Access Week. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation and being with us today. And last, but certainly not least, a very big thank goes to our IT team and the marketing team. So your contribution is very immense, support from the beginning to the end. So thank you very much once again. Now, as we have closed for the session, I cordially invite you to participate our next international session in November. We will notify it soon, somewhere in 10th of November. So until then, until we meet with our next session, stay safe, stay healthy, stay informed, and safe journey home. My name is Hasita Koralge, librarian, Sri Lanka Technological Campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.